works. So it's a multi-screen output video server that allows you to slice and dice videos across multiple screens. So you see here we actually have 7 different screens. Right now I'm playing a single 4K video file across all those screens, and you see that it's actually mapped so that the individual screens are essentially windows into the larger content that's spanning the area that is covered by all those screens. So I can play different content. If I play this American flag, it kind of gives you an idea of the spatial relationship between the individual screens. And it's all designed to be very, very easy. So when I actually go into the editor in the application, you can actually see that each screen is represented by a box within our interface. And so as I were to drag those around, that's actually determining what the how the output is layered onto it. So that particular layer, I have a target that is over all of those 5 or of those 7 screens. So as I move this around, you can see it's actually moving around that content across all those screens. But Pro Video Player is actually multiple layers, so I can actually take and choose if I've got different layers that are set up here, so I can actually specify a different video for the top screens, for example. So I'll choose these balloons to go in the top screens, and you see that it's mapped now so that that is actually just playing on the top screens, and each one is showing that full screen video. So it gives you a lot of flexibility, and this is great for concert stagings or corporate events or any place where you're actually doing something creative with screens, where you're not actually just showing content or trying to convey a message with a video that becomes sort of eye candy. The classic example is American Idol stage. They use a lot of this kind of media server type of capabilities, which are often created by the scenic director or the lighting director, and that go in concert in tandem with the lights to create an atmosphere and a mood for live video productions. So a lot of flexibility in Pro Video Server. You have the ability to do a lot of different video effects. You can network multiple machines together. It's great for video projection mapping. One of the fun projects that we actually worked on was a project in Hawaii where we took a single Mac Pro, and all these outputs, by the way, are coming from this single Mac Pro. So we have all 7 outputs coming from a single Mac Pro. And I've got a similar project with as many outputs. I've got this this project in Hawaii. This is actually the Sheraton Waikiki, and at the top of this hotel you can actually see maybe these dots that are up there. Those are actually windows at the top of the roof of the hotel, where they actually had 5 40,000 lumen projectors that are shining down into this 7,500 square foot pool. So what they were actually playing was custom content, custom generated content that was 4,000 pixels by 4,000 pixels that were then slicing into 5 separate pieces dynamically by PVP. This is a show that actually runs nightly at the Sheraton Waikiki Village that runs at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. It's all scheduled from Pro Video Player, so it automatically plays at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock at night for the guests or the visitors that are the tourists that are actually going by the hotel. And all the edge blending and everything is actually done with the software, and again, it's all scheduled. But it's a unique experience to see. You've seen projection mapping of columns and buildings and whatnot, and things collapsing and whatnot. This is actually the first of its kind of a 3D projection mapping in a swimming pool, and so we were honored to actually have Pro Video Player be involved with the creation of this project. So a lot of different flexibility that you have with the different video creation. You can see I'm actually now playing 3 different videos all at the same time, and have specified the different targets and where those different videos are playing. So it gives you a lot of real-time control in PvP, as well as you can pre-program different macros and sets and whatnot for live productions, because typically you're going to rehearse all those different things and whatnot. So it's a very fully functional piece of software. It's a $999 per license. You can actually network multiple machines together if you outgrow the needs for a single machine. You got to get into additional machines. You can network multiple machines together. So that's Pro Video Player 2, which is one of our 3 products. Renewed Vision actually has, if you want me to continue, Renewed Vision actually has 3 products. Pro Video Player 2 is one of those. We have a Pro Video Server, which is a video playout server. For broadcast instances, it's a 4-channel video playout server, which is to say you're going to have SMPTE outputs of 1920 by 1080, 720p, even 4K files at pristine video quality. So this can actually be communicating with a video switcher. You'd have your video inputs going into the video switcher, and you can also trigger those clips within the video switcher to play or queue up or whatnot. And that's Pro Video Server, which we have over here. And then our flagship product is actually Propresenter. And at NAB this year, we're actually introducing the latest version, which is Propresenter 6. Propresenter 6 is a multifunctional presentation tool useful for live environments as well as broadcast environments. It's extraordinarily feature packed for a lot of different industries, and we actually started with the House of Worship market. So there are a tremendous number of churches throughout the world that are using Propresenter for their worship lyrics, for their scripture presentations, and just general audience quips. Turn off your cell phone. There's a ladies link this coming Wednesday or whatnot. But we've added a lot of new functionality in version 6 to make it a indispensable tool for any kind of live environment. So one of those things is we've actually increased the quality of the video playback engine, so you can actually use this as a single channel video playout server without any kind of compromises. It'll actually play out any video you throw at it with up-down cross conversion at a very, very high quality. In addition to that, we've added slide builds, so you have the ability, much like you would in a PowerPoint or a Keynote type of application, you can do slide builds, so all these different graphics or whatnot that are flying on the screen are all created within Propresenter, so we're able to create these kinds of effects and build individual slide elements on the fly. Further, we have the ability to, in this case I'm actually going to show a live video input, so I've got a live video input coming into the switcher from our, in this case, our Pro Video server application. I've got a telestrator functionality, so I can actually come into the telestrator and say, okay, this guy, I'll highlight him with a spotlight. This is Matt, he's a keyboard player, and this guy here is Travis, and this is actually a drum, and this over here is a hi-hat. Yeah, and he's kind of a bald guy. You have a laser pointer kind of functionality. Everything that I'm actually drawing on here is going on the output screen. So you have that telestration capability. Again, just a new feature in Propresenter 6. We have the ability, again, to play out any clips and load them on the fly. If you play a 720p clip and your output is 1080i, then you're actually going to do the up conversion on that and the interlacing process. We have, in Propresenter 6, as I said, the video quality is very, very high. We also have the ability to do it as a broadcast key and fill. So we can actually do a key and fill of graphics for broadcast applications where you want to have transparency and whatnot. So to demonstrate that, I've got a lower third build. And if I actually go into the editor here, there's just a lower third title that I built from a generic graphic. So I have this graphic listed here or showing here just as a generic graphic for a full screen video. But if I build my slide with it, I can actually bring it in and make it a lower third, because when I dragged it in, I can actually double click on it and actually resize it however I want to and specify what area of that video I actually want to show. So I want this graphic to be a little bit transparent, so I can actually specify the transparency settings for this. So I have it at, I don't know, 45%, so it's a little bit transparent. And then I want to build this, so I actually want this lower third to slide in. So in my build process, I actually have that graphic doing a push in, and then the text element that overlays it is in fact a dissolve. So if I clear out my slides and play this graphic, oops, clear out my backgrounds, over the live video feed that's coming in, you see it actually comes in from the left-hand side and then shows the name on top of it. So a very, very quick, fully functional broadcast CG type of application. We do some other things that are unique in here, such as text tickers. You can bring in a text feed, and this is in fact coming from a news RSS feed over the internet to just kind of go across the bottom, and this is just happening in another layer independently of anything else that's actually happening. I can play other videos or whatnot. That's always going to stay on the screen until I actually clear it. I also have the ability to show social media, and this is a very popular function both for live events, corporate events and whatnot, as well as broadcasts these days, because everybody is wanting to interact with their audience socially. And so this gives you an easy way to do that. In this case, I've actually done a hashtag search for NAB 2015, and we're searching both Twitter and Instagram in real time for the results of this. And so here are the results from both Instagram and Twitter, and if I want to actually show any of these, I can actually show them immediately, and you can see that it actually comes down, and there is that particular Instagram feed. I can also moderate these. So over on the right-hand side, we have moderation of these Instagram and Twitter feeds, and each one of these is using a template that I can choose. So if I actually show one of my Twitter text-only feeds, you can see it actually has a different look to it, similar in style, but obviously just text as opposed to text and graphics. And actually, I can actually run this as a slideshow. I have this set to 3 seconds just for demonstration purposes, and it's going directly from one Instagram entry to another and another and another and so on. So That's some of the high points of our Propresenter 6 product. Again, multifunctional, multi-featured broadcast as well as live event production tool for video playout, as well as CG and social networks and telestration and all kinds of different other applications that you might actually have for any kind of presentation type of opportunity. So those are our products in a nutshell. So hopefully that's helpful.
I really appreciate the engineering, the architecture behind all of this. Great tech support, great training program you have out there. It's easy for us to learn it. I mean, this saved a lot of our shows. The fact of running a server software to play back on a portable MacBook Pro, unbelievable. For the person who wants to fly, get on a plane, take all 3 software with you, load it here. You obviously can't use all 3 software at the same time, but depending on the service you're doing, you're ready to go. And we really appreciate everything, Brad.
Thank you
so much.
Appreciate
and
it.
Looking forward for your upcoming projects. And
We still have ideas.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks.